talk about. Today we're going to talk about. There we go. Today we're going to talk about food that challenges us. Welcome, Karen. And I need 8 helpers to talk about food that challenges us. We're going to talk about dieting. Oh boy. Come on down. 8 helpers. Oh, we got lots of helpers. Okay. We got hard. It does have to do with food, yes. All right, so everybody gets a card. Pass the rest of them down there. There's 8. You have fruit. Oh, you don't? Look at you. You're looking through to see which one you want. Make sure Jamie gets one.
Uh-oh.
Can you girls share one? There you go. There you go. There you go, Jamie. Now you need a card, Jamie. How the game works. Pastor says. Okay. So tell me what's on your card. We'll start from the left here and go, well, my left, and go to the right.
Rice.
So you have rice. Can you show them? Rice. Yay. What do you have?
They're like scallops or something, onion, I don't know.
They're chickpeas.
What is that?
They're like obviously you don't have that on your diet. Those are also known as garbanzo beans.
Can I put it on pizza?
You could put them on your pizza. And they're what's, you know hummus? Have you heard of hummus?
I've heard it narrated.
So chickpeas are what hummus is made out of.
That's what she just said, that's what this is.
Okay, so that's chickpeas. It's a kind of legume. Like you know what a legume is?
No.
Different kind of beans.
I
The dry
think
kind.
Pizza, wings, and steaks. Other than that, why
That stuff is bicep.
not? Chickpeas, right?
Chickpeas, just chickpeas.
Chickpeas.
Rachel, what do you have? Butter. Great food. What do you have, Tasha? Avocado. Ron first. You had the steak. Sarah, what do you got? Eggs. Okay. And Sue?
Nuts.
Nuts. Specifically peanuts. That's important. And Jamie and Megan, what do you guys have? Oil. It's olive oil. It's got some olives going on there. Okay. All right, so we're going to do a little game. We're going to talk about a couple of different diets. And then people who have, each of the people up here who have a food card, they're going to step forward if they think their food can be eaten in that particular diet. And if you think your food can't be eaten in this particular diet, then you just stay where you are. So the first diet, we're going to start easy. First diet is vegetarianism. So do we know what vegetarianism is? What's vegetarianism?
No meat.
No meat. Okay. So just step forward.
Vegetarian.
All right.
Don't worry.
So Ron's the only one lagging behind. Ron, what do you have? You have steak, which is meat. Yeah. So everything else really you could eat if you were on a vegetarian diet. Rice, chickpeas, butter, avocado, eggs, peanuts, and oil. Those are all good. All right. Take a step back. All right. So the next one is a little bit harder, but not too bad. The next one is veganism. Do we know what veganism is?
No animal products.
No animal products at all. Okay, so think about that and take a step forward if you think you can be eaten in a vegan diet. Somebody's getting some advice, all right? So the people who lagged behind were Rachel. What do you have, Rachel? Butter. So you couldn't eat that on a vegan diet because it comes from a cow. It's made from milk. And of course, Ron, once again, you're excluded. No beef. And then Sarah, what did you have? Eggs come from chickens, so you wouldn't eat that on a vegan diet. But everybody else would be safe. All right, so everybody back in their places. So now we're going to get a little trickier. So the next diet is called a paleo diet. Does anybody know what a paleo diet is?
It's a caveman diet.
Caveman diet. Caveman diet. Yeah, so if a caveman would have eaten it, then you can eat it in a paleo diet. So this one's a little trickier, and I'm going to need my cheat sheet.
I forget, could you already eat it?
Can you eat it? They weren't alive at the same time, so. All right, so paleo, all right, I got my cheat sheet. So think about if a caveman would have eaten your food. And if you're not sure, you can raise your hand. And it'll be like call a friend, you can get help. Okay, so Sue's not sure, Jeff's not sure, Jamie's not sure, Tasha's not sure. So, all right, so Jeff, what do you have that you're not sure about? Rice. So do we think cavemen would eat rice?
No.
No. So you're right to stay behind. Chickpeas. Yes. No, actually no, because it's a bean. Cavemen would not have eaten beans. No, you don't have to sit down. You're not disqualified. All right, what do we got next? Butter. Rachel, you were right to stay where you were. No butter. How about avocados? What do we think?
Yes.
Yeah, you can eat avocados. Yeah. And we have, of course, you can eat the steak. Caveman, of course, eat steak. Can you imagine them? Like, steak on the grill, on a caveman grill. All right, and what do we have here? Sarah, what do you got? Eggs. Can you eat eggs?
Yes.
I think you can eat eggs. Cavemen would have probably not eaten chicken eggs, but they would have eaten eggs. And then we have peanuts. No peanuts for cavemen. You were right, so. And then Jamie, what do you have? Jamie and Megan. Olive oil. We weren't sure about that, but you can eat olive oil on a paleo diet. I don't know how many cavemen eat olive oil, but they allow it. No peanuts, Tasha. No peanuts. I know. Weird. All right. So, everybody takes a step back. One more diet. This last diet is called keto. Has anybody ever heard of keto diet?
It's like the fad right now.
It is the fad. It's the fad diet. So it's a little bit like what used to be called Atkins diet. So essentially, Ron's ready. Essentially in a keto diet, what your goal is you're eating more fats and protein and a lot less carbohydrates. And you're trying to get your body to digest fat instead of glucose, which is what carbohydrates turn into. So think about your food and would your food be eaten in a keto diet? And do you need help?
I think so.
He's not sure. So Rob needs some help. How are we doing over here? They're clueless. They need some help. All right. So Jeff has rice. Do you think rice you would eat on a keto diet? No. So you stay where you are. And Rob has chickpeas. No. You're right. Stay where you are. Butter? Yes. You can eat butter. Avocado? Yes. That's a healthy fat. And steak? Yep. That's a protein. Eggs? Yes. You got it right, Sarah. And then we have peanuts. Can you eat peanuts? You can eat peanuts. They're fat, yeah. And we have olive oil at the end. What did you guys think? Did you have a hunch?
I think you said yes.
Okay, yeah, because it's a healthy fat, so you could eat that. All right, so just the rice and the beans were lagging behind. So thank you, everybody who helped with the diet game. Give them a round of applause. They did a great job. Avocados were in all diets. There you go. We didn't do that one,
I
so.
noticed, nobody would have known except
Thank you. All right, so what are some reasons that people go on diets? To lose weight. Boy, that was number one, right out there. What is health?
For health.
So expand. Why might you go?
You gotta lose weight, man.
So your doctor might tell you that you need to go on a diet. Maybe because you need to lose some weight. But there might be another reason too. You might have a health condition, high cholesterol, and changing your diet is going to help your health condition.
Gluten-free diet.
So what's another reason that you might go on a diet, Sue?
Gluten-free.
allergy.
Your diet. So some people go on a diet because their body can't digest certain foods. Allergies is another one. That's kind of related. So your body reacts in a negative way to a certain food.
Peer pressure.
Peer pressure. That is true. Some people go on a diet because of peer pressure. What might be another reason? Pregnancy. Yeah. That can be a reason to go on a diet because you want to be extra special healthy.
If you had diet.
And there's certain things you can't eat.
When you say diet, a lot of
Yeah, right. You do diet for more reasons than just losing weight. Changing the way that you eat for a specific reason.
If your sugar's too high and stuff, you might have to watch your sugar.
Right, yeah, so that's another reason you might do it for your health, is if you have high blood sugar and you want to get those numbers down. So there's a bunch of different reasons you can go on a diet. Why is it so difficult to stay on a diet, to follow a diet? Food is expensive, and sometimes you have to leave behind foods that you really enjoy. What's another reason it might be hard to go on a diet?
Temptation, all your friends.
Temptation, yeah. So when you go out to eat with people, or if you're going to somebody's house, you see folks eating foods that you're not allowed, and it's really hard
Janet's
to...
chocolate cake.
Janet's chocolate cake. Janet's chocolate cake is featured a lot in the series. Why else might it be hard to stick to a diet? You're addicted to certain foods. Yeah, like sugar especially is very addictive. So when people give up sugar, that's really tough. Access, right? Absolutely, Tasha. So in our culture, the foods that are most readily available and that are cheapest are usually the unhealthy foods. And the foods that are easiest to prepare and most convenient are usually the most unhealthy foods. So you're really working against the flow to stay on a diet. Not only do you have to kind of change your grocery habits, like what you buy, you have to change how you cook, you have to change what you eat, and you have to think about social stuff too, like when you go out, or you're with friends.
You also have to either get the whole entire household on the same page when you're running a restaurant. Because not everyone in the house can eat diet and their children.
Yeah, so it can be difficult depending on in your household if people are eating different diets. Absolutely.
Like a mental block, like not even wanting to try something new or something that's not good.
There might be a mental block. I wonder if that was referring to somebody.
Let's just say, thank God you didn't have a picture of Brussels sprouts.
I did notice I forgot to put any veggies up there except the avocado, which is really a treat. But okay, yeah. So sometimes people are scared of certain foods. Legitimately, they're just not. Don't. It's not scared. But they're nervous about eating certain foods. They just don't like it. So there's lots of different reasons that it can be hard to follow a diet. The main one being that you're really changing your lifestyle when you're changing your diet. And it takes support. It's a lot more easy if you have a community or a household or a family that's supporting you in following that diet. So what are the benefits if you actually stick to a diet? How can it help you or make your life better?
You become more healthy.
You become more healthy.
You don't have health issues, like bathroom issues or other.
Yeah. So if your body reacts negatively to certain foods, you no longer have those health issues, bathroom issues, Sue says. That's the truth. Everybody poops, people. All right, what else?
It's help you get off medication.
Absolutely, yeah. So sometimes if you change your diet, this is kind of a newer thing. Well, it's a really old thing that's becoming new again. Food can be kind of like medicine, and it can help you to get off of medication. So if you follow a certain diet, you don't need certain pills. Or keep you from having to take medication. Yep.
More energy.
More energy. Yeah, you can feel better. It is true. If you follow a diet, sometimes you feel better and you have more energy. Absolutely. So there are benefits, even though it's difficult. So in our reading today, our gospel reading, Jesus proposes a new diet. It's the Jesus diet. Eat my flesh and drink my blood, Jesus says. And I will abide in you, and you will abide in me. And this diet that Jesus proposes, what's the big benefit that he says you'll get from following this diet? Eternal life. Wayne got it back there, yeah. So eternal life. And when Jesus is talking about eternal life, especially in this gospel from John, he doesn't just mean you live forever, but that your current life is going to be fuller, more abundant, richer. But there are some challenges with the Jesus diet. And you can see that his disciples aren't too keen. Right after Jesus proposes this diet, how do they react? What do they say? Do you remember? They're out of there. Okay, that happens next. So first they say, this teaching is difficult. Who can accept it? I imagine many a doctor has heard that similar phrase. This diet is difficult. Who can follow it? Right? So there's a couple of different reasons that scholars think the disciples react this way. So one way of looking at this is maybe the disciples just didn't understand what Jesus was saying. I mean, what he's saying, if you take it at face value, sounds kind of strange. Eat my flesh, drink my blood. Like, what are you talking about, Jesus? They're not vampires. So it could be they just didn't understand him. Or it could be that they do understand what he's saying. They know what he's talking about, but they just don't trust that he really can offer this, that he really can offer eternal life. And so essentially they're kind of like the Israelites, God's people wandering through the wilderness. How many times do they question whether God can truly provide for them, truly cares for them? And yet over and over again, God provides water and manna and everything that they need to survive and live in the wilderness. And yet still they question whether God can provide for them or cares for them. So the disciples are kind of doing the same thing. They're questioning whether Jesus can really provide for them, whether Jesus really cares for them. Why might it be hard for us to follow the Jesus diet? Why might it be difficult for us? Why might we question whether God can really provide for us, whether God really cares for us? You have to let go of pride. So sometimes we think that we can do it all ourselves. Sometimes that's
Temptation around.
temptation. Say more.
You'd rather go that way than that.
So sometimes there's a more entertaining or joyful walks of life in the Jesus diet. Some things you'd rather do when you know it's wrong. Yep, Paul talks about that a lot in his letters. George.
It's very hard to believe that somebody can care that much for another person.
Especially when we know what stinkers we are. Right? Yeah. Absolutely. And think of all the stuff that we see in the news and around the world, all the violence, the pain that we ourselves even experience in our own lives and in our families. There's lots of reasons for us to question that God can truly provide and that God really cares for us. And yet, Jesus promises that he will be present in the bread and the wine, that he does offer his flesh and blood for eternal life. What could be the benefits? How could it make life more eternal to follow the Jesus diet? How could it make life more abundant, richer? Does following the Jesus diet make a difference?
I think we really have a better life if we follow the Jesus diet.
You think, Carol
I
says,
think you really do.
you have a better life.
Right.
Why do you say that?
Because I don't think you get into the trouble that you would not following it.
So you avoid some trouble following the Jesus diet. I hear that. What else could be the benefits of following the Jesus diet? Steve?
I think for me, it just gives me more of a sense of purpose for what my life is down here. So when things don't always go the way you would want them to humanly, it's like, okay, well, there's things we don't understand, and it just feels like when you're helping others or following what Jesus wants, it's just, sense of purpose, I think, is what I would say.
So it brings more meaning and even gives you direction, is what I hear you saying. Yeah.
You're at peace inside yourself.
So at times when you're in times of trouble, following the Jesus diet can give you some real peace of mind, some comfort.
You have a community of people that support you in the diet.
Mm.
You can be accountable, like if you were on an actual diet.
Yeah, so kind of like we were talking about in the beginning, when it's easier to follow a diet if you have people supporting you. That's what all these folks here are, people supporting you on the Jesus diet. You have a community built in, absolutely.
It changes us from selfish people to selfless people.
Following the Jesus diet changes us from selfish to selfless. So more oriented towards others as opposed to our own needs. Absolutely. Any other benefits? Strength. It can give you strength and energy, kind of like we talked about with regular diets. Following the Jesus diet can give you energy. It can drain you too, let me tell you. So here's the honest truth, folks. Sometimes it really is tough to follow the Jesus diet. And it really is tough to see that God is providing for us and caring for us. And that's natural. And sometimes, like those disciples in the story, we walk away. Whether it's physically, like they did, or mentally. But here's the truth that we can count on. That no matter what we do, whether we walk away or we face God, Jesus is always there. God is always there, hands open, offering us the bread and the wine, the flesh and the blood. That gives us eternal life. Jesus is always there with another chance to embrace eternal life, full, abundant for us.